Well, welcome back to my home slot car channel. It's been a while, and I apologize for that. I was just burnt out a little bit, not from slot cars, just from life. You know how life is; it gets to you after a while, and had to take a little break from doing videos, but not slot cars. I've been time I'm not doing videos. I'm basically was building my HO drag racing slot cars. To build up my new eBay channel a little bit. I had some private custom builds I had to get out. Um, Other than that, I'm back at it and I got a lot of updates. So you know me, moss don't grow on me, and I'll tell you, I might do something in a couple months next year, and all of a sudden it's next week. So lo and behold, it looks like I'm going to be setting up a fourth racetrack. Not actually a racetrack, a drag racing track, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Um, I've decided to set up 1/24th or 1/25th scale, actually 1/24th scale drag strip, and I already started working on a few cars, and we'll get back to that in a minute. I don't want to focus on that at the minute. So I looked at that, started looking at YouTube videos, researching it. It's a big learning curve from doing HO cars. I'll tell you what, there's soldering involved, um, a lot of dynamics that come into play into real drag racing cars come into play in the 1/24th scale as far as chassis flex and all this. So it's a learning curve. I'm still learning, but I had to get my feet wet. So here's what I did. I bought a ready-to-run chassis. And one thing I liked about the 124 cars, I mean, you can use a Lexan body, but that's pretty generic to me. It kind of reminds me of my RC days. But you can also use a 125th AMT or Revell body. So what I have here is a Revell body of a 55 Chevy. And roll cage and all, you just have to really cut into it on the interior. So I couldn't get the seats in there. And I'm not really going to be able to put the motor under the hood unless I cut it in half and glue it in there. But that still might happen. So anyway, let me walk around this a little bit. So you can see it's a full-blown model. And you have to build the model kit. And that's also a big learning curve. I haven't built a model kit since I was a kid in the early 70s or maybe late 60s. And back then we were hand painting them with a brush. I mean, I don't even think we had aerosol cans at the hobby store back then. Then later on, I did a few with aerosol can, but being away from it for like 50 years, maybe 45, 40, at least 47, 50 years, then I get back into it. Well, it was a learning curve because I've been using an airbrush with acrylics, and I had to go back to enamel paint because I want that finish. But I'll tell you what, I had to do this body twice over. It's definitely a learning curve. When I did it the first time, I tried to do it in multiple coats. And come to find out, the paint job came out real rough. And this one didn't come out perfect, but it's not bad for my first one. So then I stripped it down. I realized when you're using an aerosol enamel can, it seemed to me I have to paint it more like a real car. So I have to get a good coating down without causing runs. And just dry it at least 24 to 48 hours. Then same thing with the clear coat. A good hefty coat without making it run. And that's got to dry for a good 48 hours. So it's definitely involved. Then you have to actually drill holes in the body. And if I can get a close-up, you can see little holes right there and right there. And actually what you use to mount these bodies are basically sewing pins. You know, the ones with a nice plastic little round head on it. Actually, they sell some that just have a rounded head. But I figure if I get the little sewing pins with the little ball head that come in different colors, Then I can use black for the body. I can use red for the rims, make it stand out a little bit. So that'll work good. I think you just put a little tweak in it and it slides in. You'll see in a minute what I mean. So I'll slide out this pin right here. Hard to do it one hand. So it's just a pin. If I can get it in focus. There it is. So just, like I said, a pin would do. And on this side here, I was lazy, so I wanted to set up this video quick. So I just put a paper clip in there, that's just a cut paper clip. So I'll pull this one out, right out. And I'll just pull the body off, and you'll get to see the chassis. And that's what I mean about the body. You really have to cut into these to make them sit on this type of chassis. There's a few different chassis. So this is one style chassis. And this one was a ready-to-run car. So this is how, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but bear with me. So the way I did it is, because this is new to me, I bought a ready-to-run chassis. So I figured I could do reverse technology on it. Study it. And I'm going to use it, but I'm going to do reverse technology on it so I can see how it's made. Then I went out and right away I ordered the same chassis, but what they call the kit form. So basically the frame's there, but everything else has to be mounted. So that's my next learning curve. After I do this, then I'll have to get a jig, a frame jig, and try making the tube or wire frame cars, which are a lot lighter, a lot flexible, and obviously I think more favored in the real races. So that's yet for me to do. I'm learning as I go. So then another thing, this chassis here is the Boss. It's made by Mid-America. You can see the paper right there. I got it in from Slotcar Corner. Great bunch of guys. He even sent me a couple lollipops. Thank you guys. So that's the Boss. It comes with the Eagle motor. Obviously no body. And that's it right there. So even with the wheelie bars. So what I'm talking about is when you build one of these, it's not like the 132s or the HOs. A lot of soldering involved. So you got little, this one has to be resoldered right here. You can see it slide, but see how you got to solder all your posts in? And it's about it. So I'll be building the next one. And I got 2 more bodies coming in. I ordered 2 model kits right away. I believe a 56 Ford station wagon and a VW bus utility with the flatbed on the back. That should be cool. Now, getting back to the track part of it. So, that being said, put this up here for now. I was going to build my drag track with a Carrera Evolution set. So I have a extra digital base that I just tried for the heck of it, and unfortunately I found out it's a digital base. So I had to order a Evolution base because obviously the car is on digital. And the reason why I ordered the Evolution base is I needed a power supply. And I'll get back to this in a minute. So let me get back to this. So I'm thinking I'm going to set this up, my drag track up with a Carrera plastic track. Another thing is too, I want to get back to these cars and setting them up. You know, like the front tires, come to find out, they're decorations. They're not meant to even touch the track when you race these things. So I didn't even know that. Something new I learned. That's a taboo to have your front tires touch the track. Just that guide's supposed to be on that front track. So that's something new to me. So anyway, I was going to do the track Carrera plastic Evolution set. And I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to put it alongside my other track. And my other track is like, I believe, it's like, I believe I got 16 feet there or so, something like that. and the track's only like, it's a 13-foot track. So 1/24 scale, I'm going to go with 1/8 mile, and that's 27.5 feet. So measuring my hallway again, starting where I started this track, if I butt one up against it, I'm going to go into the far room, right up against the wall. I get 32 feet. So I'm going to have a 27.5 foot 1/8 mile, 4.5 foot shutdown. So that should hopefully be good enough. So let me show you one thing here. Talking about the plastic track, I got the car right up here, and come to find out, foam tires don't work good on plastic tracks. That's the problem. So I don't really like the spin on the plastic track, so what I decided to do is I'm going to make a little wooden track. Besides that, figuring out 32 feet in Carrera track would cost me, just on the straights alone, almost about $300. It's not including shipping, handling, it's not including sales tax, about $292. And that's not counting the $50 power base I just bought. So what I'm going to do is, ran a little experiment tonight. Now this might sound crazy to some of you, because I know everybody uses a router, but I'm an old-time carpenter. I used to build houses in my younger days, and it just makes sense to me. If I got to do a straight line, a router is not the way to go. I'd use a skill saw. So I took a scrap piece of wood, and I used my skill saw, and I ran a line through it. I cut the groove, and then I ran some double back conductive copper tape, and I ran it to my digital power base. For now, it's all I had, and I tried it, and it works. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the track in 8-foot sections. Now I've seen a video where I could do 8 feet at a time, wind my conductive tape over the sides, and when I butt the two tracks together and put some kind of locking system underneath, it should make contact. A second thing I might do, I might run a jumper wire up through the bottom of the track, up through the top, and just run the wires under the double back tape. It's an option of mine. Reason why I'm going that way is I'm cheaping out. I'm not ready to get involved with a major power supply right now and wiring the track up. But the way I'm doing it will leave the capability wide open to do it without any major modification. So I'm just basically going to start the Evolution power base at the beginning. I'm going to butt the wooden track up to it as close as I can get. It's not going to be a starting point. My starting point is going to be on the wooden track. Then I should be all set the way down. Also, I'm going to try and space my lanes out wider than it would be on a stock Carrera track, so I can see if I can order another timing system like I have now on my HO set with custom length wires, and maybe even mount the tree in the middle of the track, but that's yet to be determined. I think I'm going to go with 1x12, and seems to work. Even the scrap piece I used was a 3/4 thick by 12, and it was plenty of room. So that being said, I'm just rambling on, and it's about it. I'm sorry I don't have too much video for you tonight on action, but I just wanted to bring you up to date. Stay tuned, because today is Wednesday. This weekend I'm probably going to pick up at least my first 8-foot piece of wood, and cut the first piece and build the first segment of it. And there's painting involved when you're using wood. I'm thinking you got to prime it, and I'm thinking of, instead of black, I'm going to go with a flat gray. I just prefer that. Maybe we'll see some tire tracks down it eventually. That'd be cool. I'll probably do the starting and finishing line section in flat black. So like that, if I mount the sensors in there, it should pick them up better. I'm assuming. And that's about it. So I rambled on quite a bit. And I guess we're not going to waste the whole video. I'll show you a little couple sections in here. That's my beer barrel set up for business. Good old McDonald's. I should put up a Rolade stand on the side of it. Other than that, so stay tuned, and that's my next venture. Well, thanks for watching.